Now on a special edition of 4 News Now, the Pacers force Game 7, beating Oklahoma City Thunder 108-91. We'll have the highlights coming up.
Big changes are already starting to roll in. I'm tracking cooler temperatures and some weekend showers. I'll let you know when that rain could show up in your first alert forecast.
And thousands of children in Idaho are caught in the gap between struggling families and an overburdened system. The new push to keep kids out of foster care and the local group working to keep families together. You're watching a special edition of 4 News Now.
Well, the OKC Thunder and the Indiana Pacers just wrapped up a huge Game 6 in the NBA Finals.
OKC, they had the chance to grab the championship title, but the Pacers, Sydney, had other plans.
Well, the Pacers kind of played desperate in the best way possible. Indiana forced this Game 7 really in the most dominant way, and they were dominant all the way through. Things started out hot with former Zag Andrew Nembhard. Just in the first quarter, he hits 2 triples in a row. That was Tyrese Halliburton finding him in the corner there for 3. Nembhard's back-to-back triples contributed to the massive 22-7 run just in the first quarter for the Pacers. And the explosion on offense continued through the first half. Pascal Siakam put the exclamation point on the half with that buzzer beater. That one lets the Pacers go up 22 points heading into the second half. And if you're OKC right now, that deficit is a tough halftime conversation to have, and we really didn't see, honestly, too many adjustments from the Thunder. Fourth quarter, Tyrese Halliburton gets a rest. Nembhard gets to sit on the bench. The series now on the way to Oklahoma for Game 7. That final score, again, 108-91. Game 7 going to Oklahoma. Maybe they were kind of playing like they knew they were going to get another chance.
Right.
I don't know.
Maybe they just wanted to win it in front of their home crowd.
That's what people are probably going to say.
Yeah.
So they can go with that story, but the Pacers looked extremely dominant. The confidence, for sure, for them should be building.
Absolutely.
Andrew Nembhard.
Yeah, we had to, that was a big
This is the
display.
reveal. And we talked about this the very first game of the NBA
Yes.
Finals.
Yeah.
That we had this pillow at my house. This was a gift. I know it's a little weird to have a pillow of someone's head in your home. So thank you, Tyler Herbach, for this. But
Wow.
I call it a good luck charm because
We should leave it here for
Yeah.
Sunday. It can sit
See
next
what
to Jordan
happens.
on the desk.
Absolutely. We'll watch the game together. We'll
Yeah.
put the desk up here, the 2 chairs. That'd be fun. And yeah, seriously, good luck charm. He's gonna drop 40 in Game 7 if this thing's here.
I think so. It was good to see him do well tonight.
Oh, absolutely. He had a great game. So it's just carried on to Oklahoma, I guess.
All right. Wow. Sports has a lot of weird traditions. I think this one should stick around moving forward. Hey, the 2 best words in all of sports, Game 7, though. I'm excited for Sunday
sure.
now.
Oh,
So,
for sure.
well, after all that, wow. Let's check in with Chris Crocker with the exciting weather happening out there. Chris, kind of a cooler start to summer coming up.
Yes, and a beautiful evening after a cooler day across the inland Northwest. Some gorgeous clouds over the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. They're streaming in on a southwesterly flow as a trough approaches, and that trough is what's going to bring the big changes in our weather pattern. Here's a look at our forecast radar. We'll start to see some mountain showers as early as overnight. There they go into the central panhandle and then off into western Montana. Here's 8 o'clock tomorrow morning with a few hit and miss showers in the western basin and the Waterville Plateau. Then we start to see some rain moving into Spokane County, Kootenai County, and on the Palouse around noon. And at least a slight chance of showers continues across the region through Friday evening. Your Friday planners, 51 degrees at 7 o'clock. We have that chance of showers really throughout the day, starting around 11 a.m. 68 for a high temperature. 74 is our average high, 68 the coolest temperature of the month so far, and it's going to drop more than 10 degrees in your weekend forecast. I'll tell you all about that coming up in just a few minutes. Jordan?
Re-dip. Wow, Chris. All right.
Yes.
Looking forward to that. Well, hey, a major investment in Idaho's children's hopes to keep more families together and fewer kids in foster care. The state's Department of Health and Welfare is receiving what it calls their largest budget increase in history.
Alexandra Conyard gives us a closer look at how this funding could change lives across our region and why local nonprofits say the timing of this investment could not be more urgent.
Having a safe home environment is unfortunately a gift that thousands of children in Idaho are not getting.
You have a lot of families that are just that one emergency medical situation away from homelessness. which again will cause children to end up in foster care.
Angela Gifford leads Village of Hope, an organization trying to mend the gap between government aid and the needs of foster families.
Anyone in this field shares the goal of wanting to work ourselves out of a job.
One of the things Village of Hope does is give out these journey bags. They have all kinds of goods inside of them that are meant to make the foster care experience better for everyone involved. As they say, often the kids entering the system come in with nothing but the clothes on their backs. The latest data from the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare shows 148 children in foster care for the Panhandle. However, in 2023, the area had 3,200 reports of abuse and neglect. A new state funding push hopes to help those children in crisis by placing an emphasis on preventative care.
We have a whole bunch of families who are on the edge. And these are families that we are trying to keep out of coming into the system altogether. And we do that with prevention services.
Jean Fisher with DHW believes this new focus on the time before a child enters foster care will have an enormous impact in our community.
We know statistically that children do better when they're with their family or with family relations in some regard.
In total, DHW is hiring 63 new positions. 35 will be prevention workers, and 10 of those will be located in North Idaho. For Gifford, whose organization works closely with the department, this funding feels especially important given the current need of this work.
If our social workers are completely bogged down with current cases, who can do the prevention work?
In Coeur d'Alene, Alexandra Conyards, 4 News Now.
Listen up, drivers. The Lost Creek Bridge on Highway 20 in Pend Oreille County is back open. Kind of. There's currently one lane open, and it'll likely stay that way through the end of next week. Crews placed a traffic signal at each end of the bridge, and removed detour signs. Construction crews replaced the bridge deck, surface, and a girder. A new study suggests that the number of teens vaping is declining. Federal officers say that the Real Cost campaign, which launched in 2018, likely helps bring those numbers down. Researchers say youth e-cigarette use is down by 70% since 2019. Between 2023 and 2024 alone, researchers estimate nearly 450,000 Americans aged 11 to 17 were prevented from using e-cigarettes. Now the number of middle and high school students who use a vaping product has dropped to its lowest level in a decade. Still ahead here, a new space, a bigger impact. How one Spokane food bank just doubled its capacity to feed families and why the need is greater than ever. That's coming up.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+.
4 News Now is brought to you by Craig Swap & Associates.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. A heartbeat strong, steady, unwavering. Like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. In every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
Now, get $4,250 total customer cash, plus $2,250 in trade assistance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Dupixent helps people with asthma breathe better. So this is better. That too. Dupixent's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma. Some people felt their asthma symptoms improve in as little as 3 days. Dupixent's not for sudden breathing problems. It helps prevent asthma attacks. Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue or throat swelling, wheezing or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor right away of signs of inflamed blood vessels like rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, brown or dark colored urine, tingling or numbness in limbs. Tell your doctor of new or worsening skin symptoms, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop other treatments without talking to your doctor. When you can get more out of your lungs, you can do more with less asthma. And isn't that better? Ask your doctor about Dupixent, the most prescribed biologic in asthma. Also approved as an add-on treatment for adults with COPD that is not well controlled, and with a specific marker of inflammation.
Now that's Montana Sapphire from Phillipsburg, Montana. Summer's heating up, but your home doesn't have to. During Mainstream's No Sweat Summer Sales event, it's easier than ever to upgrade your comfort with the best financing offer of the year. For a limited time, enjoy 6 months, no payments, no interest on new AC systems. Stay cool, save big, worry less. Call Mainstream today or visit mainstreamhomeservices.com to take advantage of this amazing offer. Cooler air is just a click or call away. Don't sweat it. Mainstream has you covered.
Welcome to Juneteenth. We appreciate you all being here.
Grant Park was filled with energy this afternoon as Spokane gathered to celebrate Juneteenth, a day that honors the end of slavery here in the United States. It was a day filled with music, culture, and community.
Marissa Rio takes us to the heart of the celebration and shows us what Juneteenth means to our community.
As you can see, there are several different booths and so many people from our community here to celebrate Juneteenth. For many people here, this isn't just a day of fun, it's also a day of reflection and education.
Juneteenth means celebration of family and freedom.
The Spokane community filled Grant Park as they celebrated that family and freedom many say Juneteenth represents.
A time for us to come together and reminisce about what our ancestors had to endure, to go through. Understanding, to me, this is my 4th of July.
The celebration included booths with legal resources and organizations promoting diversity and inclusion. There was music and even a bounce house for kids. Some families used this as a time to educate the next generation.
It's a day that we can celebrate and recognize that no more bondage, no more slave, no more chains. And so for me and my family, it's just important that I keep that heritage going and keep that knowledge embedded into their lives.
While Juneteenth has been celebrated by Black Americans for over 150 years, today people from all backgrounds came together to honor its meaning.
It shows that we're trying to come together to learn about one another, to understand that we can be different, but we can also come together and fellowship and be one and enjoy.
In Spokane, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
And while many Juneteenth celebrations went off without a hitch across the country, some had to be scaled back or even canceled because of DEI rollbacks. Robert Bland, an assistant professor of history and Africana studies at the University of Tennessee, says these types of decisions are a part of our nation's history of progressing forward and then taking steps backward.
Obviously, this is deeply connected to our current political moment, and we kind of see the reversal in a number of ways of the gains that kind of came out of the George Floyd protest.
In West Virginia, Republican Governor Patrick Morrisey says state employees will not have a paid day off for the federal holiday, citing financial reasons. In a statement, the American Civil Liberties Union of West Virginia says Morrisey's decision is, quote, just another opportunity to show how little he understands or cares about racism.
4 things to know about your weather. Cool down really kicks in tomorrow with possible showers and a cool, showery weekend ahead. The 80s will be back next week. I'll tell you more about the weekend and let you know how warm it's going to get next week after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Since 1983, Nissan has been assembling award-winning vehicles right here in America. And now we've lowered MSRP on Rogue and Pathfinder at the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
Get 0% APR for 60 months on Rogue or Pathfinder.
When I was told I needed radiation treatment for a brain tumor, I couldn't stop thinking about what could happen to my memories. Those moments I cherish from growing up, of finding myself, of the people I love, of what I've created. Could they all just fade away? But when I learned how precise treatment was with Gamma Knife, I was reassured that those moments would be preserved. Because it's not only about protecting the memories I've made, but the ones I have yet to create.
This summer, escape to where music meets the mountains in Sandpoint, Idaho. July 24th through August 3rd, the festival at Sandpoint presents Sierra Farrell, Brothers Osborne, Third Eye Blind, Kansas, Dispatch, and more. Whether you're dancing under the stars or exploring Sandpoint's lake, hiking, and local charm, this is summer at its best. Get your tickets now at festival@sandpoint.com.
For 30 years, Renewal by Andersen has replaced worn-out and difficult-to-use windows and doors, improving not just the windows, but the entire home improvement process. Our focus on quality and performance has helped us install over 10 million windows. We've led the way since the beginning, and we keep raising the bar. Our windows and doors are custom-built using our exclusive Fibrex material, designed for beauty, performance, and lasting durability. They're installed by certified master installers and backed by the nation's best warranty. Join our 30th anniversary celebration and save. Renewal by Andersen is your best choice for window and door replacements. Call now for big savings during our 30th anniversary sales event. It's our biggest event of the year, with exclusive savings on our most energy-efficient windows and doors. Hurry, offer ends soon. Renewal by Andersen. 30 years of craft, care, and gratitude.
Since 1983, Nissan has been assembling award-winning vehicles right here in America. And now we've lowered MSRP on Rogue and Pathfinder at the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
Get 0% APR for 60 months on Rogue or Pathfinder.
Beat the heat. Always water before 10 a.m. or after 6 p.m.
Welcome back. It might be a year away, but the countdown to the 50th Bloomsday already underway here tonight.
And that's right. Organizers are looking for a local nonprofit to celebrate the milestone. The Lilac Bloomsday Association is now accepting applications for its 2026 charity of choice. Nonprofits all across the sectors in our area are encouraged to apply, and organizers say this is a unique chance to raise awareness, funding, and community support for your organization. To learn more about the program and how to apply, head on over to KXLY.com. Jordan, you and I both did our first Bloomsday this year.
Boy, we sure tried it. That was, it feels like the lactic acid just shook out like the last week or two. I'm not much of a runner, but you crushed it.
I'm not a runner either, but thank you.
We
I'll
both
take it.
crossed the finish line, and we both got a shirt, which was all I cared about. So it was
Chief
nice time.
Meteorologist Chris Crocker has done Bloomsday many times.
I have done it once or twice, yes. I did go for a jog today and enjoyed these cooler temperatures, just about average for high temperatures across the region today. 75 in Spokane, 76 degrees in Coeur d'Alene. It was 79 in Lewiston and 75 in Ritzville and Sandpoint. It is going to be cooler here coming soon, and that is going to be a switch. Here's our month so far. The gray days, including today, are days that are just about average. We've been in the 70s, 80s, and 90s all month. The orange dates are above average temperatures, and these two red dates, those were our record days, 94 and 92. And that was just over a week ago. Hard to imagine when you see where we're headed. 3 days that will be below average coming up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 68 degrees tomorrow. Then we drop down to 57 on Saturday, 66 on Sunday. Right about average Monday, and then we're back up into the 80s with sunshine starting on Tuesday and continuing into Thursday. Along with that cool weather, there is the hope of some precipitation. This is our odds of measurable rain each day. We're not going to get a big slug of continuous stratiform rain. This is going to be showery precipitation, so there'll be some good long breaks. And there's going to be many spots that get more rain than others. Hopefully, your wheat crop or whatever you have going on will get the needed rain. This is an estimate of how much rain we can expect between now and Monday at 5 o'clock. And some of the heavier totals up along the Canadian border and just to the north of the border. Over into western Montana, some good beneficial rains. Things are a little more iffy once we're down on the Palouse and the LC Valley, parts of the Columbia Basin. Latest thinking is, gosh, 1/4 of an inch in Spokane. Doesn't sound like much, but it would be welcome Considering these numbers, this is the latest percentage of usual rain over the last 30 days. We are 1% of average in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, 0 in St. Mary's, Pullman, Lewiston. Needless to say, it is bleak, and we really need this precipitation. Summer officially starts tomorrow, and that's about the time it's really going to start feeling like maybe early spring. 57 on Saturday, warmer on Sunday. We may get enough sunshine on Monday to produce some thunderstorm activity, and then we are into the sunny summer weather. Just as quickly as it leaves, it is back.
Yeah, no complaints from us here. I feel like that's a great start to the forecast there, Chris. Well, the Caritas Food Bank is open once again after the Extreme team came in, helped it remodel a new and larger space.
Yeah, the food bank's executive director says the new space has doubled its capacity. Derek Strom spoke with food bank volunteers about its clients' growing needs.
It'll be all walks of life, and we're here to feed our neighbors.
Thanks to help from 4 News Now's Extreme team, the Caritas Food Bank was able to remodel and open in a much larger space. Today there was a line as soon as the food bank opened, and there's plenty of fresh, healthy food available.
That food that we rescue would normally have gone to the cattle lots or feed lots, and then or just get out in the landfill. But we're feeding people because it's viable.
Now that Caritas has fully moved into the space, they've been able to install this conveyor belt, which allows them to get food in here even easier. And with the growing need for food banks in this community, they've been able to double their capacity to serve families.
Caritas says it was only able to serve less than 20 families per day in its old space, but now they can serve over 40. The food bank's board chair says the only limit right now is how many volunteers it can bring in to help its clients.
There is a huge need. We've seen our numbers more than double over the last couple of years. You know, when I first started volunteering 5 years ago, if we had 18 families, that was a big day.
Caritas says it's starting to see some people come back to use the food banks because they're either unemployed or underemployed. It hopes to continue to serve people who need food banks to help them get back on their feet. Caritas will be open Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. In Spokane, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
A popular path in Pullman is currently closed for construction. Crews will be filling the cracks in the Terraview walking and biking path between Pullman-Moscow Highway and Northeast Fairway Road. Weather permitting, the construction will last through June 20th.
Well, still ahead, tensions escalate as Iran launches a deadly strike and the U.S. prepares for possible military action. Coming up, the president's warning, the weapons being considered, and the diplomatic window that may be closing.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Great philosopher Socrates once said, "To find yourself, think for yourself." Great philosopher Arby's once said, "Here's some Greek euros, 2 for $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
Huh, never a doubt. See our great selection of Tundras with backup assist technology and other advanced features at Parker Toyota in beautiful Coeur d'Alene.
Mark Peterson with 4 News Now Extreme Team. We're bringing a bit of color to senior citizens in 4 assisted living homes with Gardening for Grands. Thanks to East Valley Middle School for volunteering, and thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
I felt like there was just no answers to get out of the anxiety and the depression that I had.
I was suicidal all the time, thinking about it nonstop, every day, every moment.
Depression and anxiety rob millions of us of our day-to-day lives, but nothing seems to pull you out of it. Introducing NeuroStim TMS, Washington's leading provider of transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS therapy. At NeuroStim TMS, we treat the root of the problem with a series of short daily treatments. Using a non-invasive magnetic field, TMS activates the natural function of the brain's neurotransmitters to improve mood and regulate emotion. TMS is not shock therapy. It's an FDA-approved, easy outpatient experience and covered by all major medical insurances.
There's nothing better than just being able to enjoy life again.
The treatment just completely, fundamentally changed my life.
Visit neurostemtms.com today or call to schedule your free consultation at any of our 12 Washington state locations.
4 News Now anchors, not just in the newsroom, but in the community, doing the work, listening to you, asking questions to help keep your family safe. We're the people you trust on your screens and in your neighborhood. And we'll always be there on 4 News Now.
When Arby's says euros, you say 2 for $7. Euros. 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 Louder. Arby's, we have the meat.
4 News Now is brought to you by Fairway Floor.
Whoa! Investigators trying to learn what caused that SpaceX rocket to explode in Texas today. SpaceX posting on X, the Starship preparing for the 10th flight test experienced a major anomaly while on a test stand. And all personnel are safe and accounted for. The Starship is crucial to the company's plans to eventually send humans to Mars.
But what they're doing is they're stress testing these systems under real world conditions, and they're stressing many complex systems all at once. And so they're not launching spacecraft, they're launching questions. And every explosion is an answer that they didn't know they needed.
SpaceX owner Elon Musk calling the explosion just a scratch on X.
Around the world, the White House today said President Donald Trump will decide within the next 2 weeks whether to strike Iran. Still holding out hope negotiations can achieve U.S. and Israeli goals for Iran to shut down its nuclear weapons program.
And this announcement comes as Iran fired a massive barrage of missiles into Israel. ABC's Alex Perche has more.
President Trump today holding out hope for a diplomatic resolution to the nuclear crisis with Iran.
I have a message directly from the president, and I quote, "Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks."
Briefed today in the Situation Room for the 3rd straight day, sources tell ABC News the president has approved attack plans against Iran should military action be necessary.
Is he saying that if Iran does not come back to the negotiating table within the next 2 weeks, that the president will strike?
The president is saying that he will make a decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks. It's very clear and direct.
Sources also tell ABC News the president is getting briefed on specific weapons that potentially would be involved in any strike. What military assets are also needed in the area to protect U.S. troops in the region. The U.S. military is pre-positioning aircraft carriers in strike groups in the region and overnight evacuating American diplomats from Israel. And today, a barrage of Iranian missiles hitting targets inside of Israel, including this direct strike on a major hospital. The blast sent staff running for their lives. They evacuated patients just days ago.
This morning, we understood how lucky or how smart was this decision.
And in Tel Aviv, at least 240 people were injured when Iranian missiles hit a high-rise. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu incensed.
They're targeting civilians because they're a criminal regime. They're the arch terrorists of the world.
The IDF responding today by striking dozens of sites in Iran, including a key nuclear reactor capable of producing low-grade plutonium. These satellite images showing the before and after.
And tomorrow in Geneva, representatives from France, Germany, and Britain will meet with Iran's foreign minister to try to find a diplomatic solution to the conflict. Alex Perche, ABC News, Washington.
Well, 2 U.S. airlines are suspending flights to the Middle East, at least for now. This is during the ongoing conflict in the region. United Airlines and American Airlines confirmed they've halted some passenger flights. For United, daily flights between Newark International Airport and Dubai are now paused, and American said it has adjusted its schedule between Doha and Philadelphia International Airport until June 22nd. Both airlines said they're monitoring the situation and will make further changes as needed.
Any international students who want to study here in the U.S. will now need to make their social media profiles public. when applying for their visa.
That is according to the U.S. Department website. The change comes as federal officials announced they will once again be processing student and visiting scholar visa applications. The new process is meant to weed out applications that, quote, pose a threat to U.S. national security. The department says consular officers will be looking for views in support of terrorism, anti-Semitic content, or signs an applicant might undermine national security. The new guidance applies to both new and returning applicants. The State Department says failure to make the profile public could be grounds for rejection. Well, our big week for basketball will continue. Game 7 of the NBA Finals is Sunday, and then just 3 days later, the NBA Draft.
And you can expect to hear a few local players' names called from both Washington State and Gonzaga. Sydney Berger's coming back here after the break with why one local player is almost guaranteed to go in the first round.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Satay Bistro, Coeur d'Alene's culinary extravaganza of American fusion dining. From our extensive wine cellar to our unforgettably decadent menu, we'll move your experience beyond ordinary to the extraordinary. Satay Bistro, just off the 4th Street exit in Coeur d'Alene.
Whoa, this Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Hey, honey, how's the Wi-Fi?
It's booming.
Kids? Booming!
Booming!
Streaming beats! Oh, she's a booming. Hey, oil guys. Booming. Tech founders. Booming.
The Wi-Fi is booming.
Boom. Booming. Wi-Fi. It's really booming.
Get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best equipment with unlimited data included. All for one price for 5 years.
The Wi-Fi is booming.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. Of travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. Of travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere.
Wherever you need us, American On Site.
Now, playing your favorite games at Northern Quest could be the start of something big. Big as in a new Chevy Silverado 2500 heavy-duty pickup. It's our $120,000 payload payday. Just play daily to enter, and you could win your choice of a new Chevy Silverado or a truckload of cash. But then, how would you haul it home? You'll figure it out. The $120,000 payload payday, only at Northern Quest.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Or get 0% APR on select Sierra 1500 models.
ShopDaveSmith.com.
Satay Bistro, Coeur d'Alene's culinary extravaganza of American fusion dining. From our extensive wine cellar to our unforgettably decadent menu, we'll move your experience beyond ordinary to the extraordinary. Satay Bistro, just off the 4th Street exit in Coeur d'Alene.
Well, if any team is coming up clutch and forcing a Game 7, it's the Indiana Pacers. At least that's the story for their postseason run this season. Their star, Tyrese Halliburton, has been known for game-winning shots and big plays, but the game didn't need any last-minute heroics. In fact, we didn't even need to see Halliburton or Nembhard or most of the Pacers starters in the fourth quarter. That's how large of a lead the Pacers had on OKC. At one point, holding a 31-point lead, and really a point of no return for the Thunder. One thing Indiana struggled with in Game 5 was turnovers, and tonight was quite the opposite stats for them in Game 6. Just 9 turnovers compared to OKC's 21. Andrew Nembhard had himself a night, 17 points and 4 assists, and 6 Pacers scored in the double digits in the 108-91 win.
Didn't want to see these guys celebrate a championship on our home floor, backs against the wall, and we just responded. So many different guys chip in, total team effort, really proud of this group.
Halliburton has been struggling with a lower leg injury he suffered in Game 5. He had 14 points tonight, so not as productive as we're used to seeing him, but he's got plenty of time to get healthy with Game 7 of the NBA Finals on Sunday night right here on ABC. Well, the next round of NBA stars will hear their names called in next week's NBA draft. One of those stars is pretty much guaranteed to be former Coug and Eastern Washington Eagle Cedric Coward. Today, it was reported that Coward earned a draft green room invite, usually given to athletes that ESPN expects to become drafted. It means they will be in the building on draft night, and if drafted in the first round, Coward will be the first Coug to go in the first round since Klay Thompson. Klay went 11th overall in 2011. And it could turn out to be a really good week for the Nembhard family. Of course, if Andrew Nembhard and the Pacers win that NBA championship, and if Ryan Nembhard hears his name called on draft night. The point guard was the single-season assist leader, as well as leading the entire country in assists during the last regular season with Gonzaga. Ryan is projected to be a late second-round pick, going anywhere from 47th to the last pick of the draft. But he is on plenty of mock draft boards, so good looks for him as well. And with the Seattle Kraken hiring a new head coach a few weeks ago, it was also time for them to bring in some talent on the ice. Today, the team announced they traded future draft picks for Dallas Stars right winger Mason Marchment. Marchment had 22 goals, 25 assists last season with the Stars. He also brings a lot of postseason experience, which will be helpful once the Kraken can get there. But Marchment has played in 59 Stanley Cup playoff games and a nice veteran add for the Kraken. The Spokane Indians have been trying to hold their own against the Everett AquaSox, but one of the top teams in the league are showing why they are a force. Everett has won the first 3 games of the series, including tonight, and now the Indians are on a 9-game losing streak. The series continues tomorrow at 6:35. Guys?
All right. Well, hey, if you plan on attending maybe a baseball game, definitely having that sweatshirt handy, it seems like, as we start to cool off here, Chris.
Yes, and you may, for Saturday's game, need some sort of rain gear because we are going to have some showers this weekend. But right now, a beautiful evening in progress in downtown. Sunset tonight was at 8:51. We just missed it by 2.5 minutes, and it was a pretty one with those few clouds around the region. If you are a fan of those super early sunrises and late sunsets, they're going to start getting closer together. June 20th, excuse me, my earpiece, 7:42 is the summer solstice. That is tomorrow. In the northern hemisphere, we are at the maximum angle toward the sun. It is our longest day of daylight, and then it gets shorter from here. Friday's highs are going to be unusually cool for our first day of summer, but we're going to be in the upper 60s in Spokane, mid-60s in Coeur d'Alene, as well as in Pullman, 71 in Ritzville, and 75 degrees in Grand Coulee. We'll be in the 70s right around Meade, 9 Mile, Deer Park, downtown and Spokane Valley, with 60s elsewhere around the Spokane area. We'll get a little bit of a breeze going tomorrow afternoon. Here's 7 a.m. Starting to see some wind gusts in that 15-mile-per-hour range with 25-mile-per-hour gusts. Once we get into the afternoon, we'll see some showers along with them. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes, Jordan.
Thanks a lot, Chris. A piece of Spokane history is up for sale in the Vinegar Flats neighborhood. The Lowell Schoolhouse, built back in 1899 and expanded in 1917, now spans 6,000 square feet. It's been on the market for about a year with an asking price of $1.8 million.
Plaster walls and the brick and the rounded arched windows, which make this property very unique.
Local business owners envision various possibilities for the space. Lauren Carney from Vinegar Goods suggests a coffee shop with healthy meals or a workout studio. Tammy Haas from Lucky Goods Boutique sees potential for a community co-op or artist space. The agents say the renovated building offers a blank canvas for future owners.
It is really a cool idea.
Yeah, beautiful looking building there. So yeah, like they said, a lot of potential there.
And a lot of people want to visit. An event that brought people from all different communities together wrapped up earlier today.
It was Hilliard's very first art walk, and the neighborhood says it was the first of many events that's helping reintroduce the community as a creative district. Madeline Mullins joins us here with the story.
The antique shops that line the streets in Hilliard transport you back in time to when this neighborhood was first getting its start.
It's a historic district. It's a piece of Spokane that has a really rich history.
But over the years, some feel Hilliard has been overlooked.
Kind of older, has a different vibe. Maybe even for years, people were a little hesitant to come to Hilliard because it maybe got a bad rap back in the day.
Those who live here want to reintroduce the neighborhood.
And there's a lot of different kinds of businesses, restaurants, bars, the Heritage Park. There's a lot of different facets in Hilliard that I don't think people know.
And that is how the Art Walk began, a way to show the rest of Spokane all of the art and creativity that Hilliard has to offer.
We have 12 pop-up galleries with different local artists exhibiting their work. And then we also have 4 live musicians that are going to be playing at the Hilliard Heritage Museum Park.
This Art Walk is just a step on the path towards designating Hilliard as a creative district, a distinction held by 20 other communities throughout the state. The neighborhood hopes to get this distinction by August.
So it really puts Hilliard on all of these maps, and you can imagine when people come to Spokane, this becomes part of the destination.
This distinction means getting help from the state to bring in tourists, become a place where artists can live and thrive, and boost the Hilliard economy.
It's more eclectic, more diverse, kind of brings crowds to the Hilliard area. I think it not only helps my business, but it helps all of the businesses on the block.
And it's doing all of this while preserving the history and the deep ties to Spokane that Hilliard has to offer. In Hilliard, I'm Madeline Mullins, 4 News Now.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
There's only a short time left to get your backyard and deck ready for the 4th of July at Windsor Plywood.
It's time to shop, shop for wood.
Whether you're looking for PVC, composite, or wood, the Windsor Plywood Decking Pros can help you find what you need, including great railing options. It's the one-stop shop all the contractors use to build the best decks in the region.
Windsor Plywood.
Plus, local delivery is available.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. A heartbeat strong, steady, unwavering. Like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. In every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
Now, get $4,250 total customer cash, plus $2,250 in trade assistance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Most people who have lived through an opioid overdose have something in common. They didn't do it alone. Someone was there when they OD'd. Someone had naloxone. Someone called for help. So, if you use opioids like fentanyl, know who your someone is. Use with them when you can. Have naloxone with you. And make sure your someone is ready to help you if you need it. Just like you would for them.
Dupixent helps people with asthma breathe better. So this is better. That too. Dupixent's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma. Some people felt their asthma symptoms improve in as little as 3 days. Dupixent's not for sudden breathing problems. It helps prevent asthma attacks. Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor right away of signs of inflamed blood vessels like rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, brown or dark-colored urine, tingling or numbness in limbs. Tell your doctor of new or worsening skin symptoms, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop other treatments without talking to your doctor. When you can get more out of your lungs, you can do more with less asthma. And isn't that better? Ask your doctor about Dupixent, the most prescribed biologic in asthma. Also approved as an add-on treatment for adults with COPD that is not well controlled and with a specific marker of inflammation.
Celebrate Red, White, and Boom in Moses Lake. Go to tourmoseslake.com for details.
Welcome back. Social media used to be the place to share snippets of our lives and keep up with friends and families. It's grown a lot beyond that, and it can feel like our feeds are overwhelmed with advertisements and branded content.
And having the option to get what you want with just a quick click on your phone makes it easier than ever to click and buy. ABC's Melissa Adon has some tips on how to avoid impulse shopping.
Impulse purchases can be fun to make in the moment, but hurt your budget in the long run. According to a Bankrate survey from March, 16% of Americans say they have bought an unplanned, non-essential item in just the last month.
On social media, an impulse purchase can look like a product from TikTok Shop. It could look like buying clothing from an influencer. And outside of social media, it could be as simple as buying things in the grocery store that aren't on your list, or buying a pair of shoes because you got an email about it.
Think of your budget like a pie. When you cut out a slice for impulse buys, you detract from the other slices.
It might be subtracting from other line items in your budget. That could be adding to your savings, paying off debt, even having enough money to pay for your essentials so that you don't end up in credit card debt.
So what can you do to stop yourself from making these types of purchases? First, set a budget and stick to it.
There are so many good budgeting apps out there. If you have a certain spend limit in mind, that can help you when it comes to making that purchase or not. You can think about the limit that you set for yourself that month.
If you see something you want, wait at least 24 hours before buying it.
You can even add it to your cart, but give it a full day, sleep on it, think about it, look in your closet and see whether you already have it before you make that purchase.
Don't shop on your phone.
If you need to delete the Amazon app, don't have your credit card information saved on your phone. You might even unfollow people who are making you want to make these purchases.
Try the no buy challenge, making no discretionary purchases for a set amount of time.
And what that does is causes you to re-examine your habits so that when you do re-enter that spending, you can do it with more mindfulness and less of that impulsiveness.
You can even take a personal finance course or work with a credit counselor.
This is a tough habit to break, and it can help to just have another person be able to guide you through that process.
Melissa Don, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Let's go camping this weekend, but you might not want to be in a tent with the kind of weather they're going to have at Trestle Creek RV Park in Bonner County. Rain Saturday and 56, rain overnight into Sunday, and there may be some thunderstorms in the mountains around the RV park as well. Maybe next weekend. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Great philosopher Socrates once said, "To find yourself, think for yourself." Great philosopher Arby's once said, "Here's some Greek euros, 2 for $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
It's a brave face we put on. Don't worry about me, I'm fine. Don't want to be any trouble. But you know, sometimes we're not fine. Because getting older isn't all smiles and birthday parties. Sometimes it's facing the fact that we're human and we're aging. And you know what? That can be pretty hard. If you need a little support or just want to talk to someone, 988 is here for you. Anywhere, anytime. Call 988.
You're building a home or updating an existing one. You want windows and patio doors to be strong, beautiful, long-lasting, and durable. Want to express creativity and increase your home's curb appeal? To feel secure in your investment, choose Milgard Windows and Patio Doors from River City Glass, industry leaders with the highest quality materials and windows that are backed by a lifetime warranty. Residential and commercial, Milgard Windows and Patio Doors. Call River City Glass or visit their showroom at 6615 East Main.
Yeah, AAA. My hoopty is down, man. Broke down.
Oh, your hoopty. Yeah, we got a truck on the way.
Mark Peterson with 4 News Now Extreme Team. We're bringing a bit of color to senior citizens in 4 assisted living homes with Gardening for Grands. Thanks to East Valley Middle School for volunteering, and thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
Appliances that spark joy and big savings. Come check out all LG appliances on sale and in stock this Independence Day at Fred's Appliance. From induction ranges to dishwashers to washers and dryers and so much more. You'll find explosive and exclusive sales on all LG appliances this 4th of July. Save 30% with our truckload savings on this LG refrigerator, now just $15.99. Plus, save up to $500 with an additional Fred's exclusive Buy More, Save More rebate.
When Arby's says euros, you say 2 for $7. Euros. 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 Louder. Arby's, we have the meat.
4 News Now is brought to you by R&R RV.
We're having a long discussion about camping.
Yes. It's maybe not the best weekend to head out there, unless you have that camper you were talking about.
Unless you have an RV. Someday, that is going to be, but yeah, no, tent camping might not be the best. Although, gosh, this is a hardy crowd. They'll camp in anything. I know you will. I know you're saying that right now at the TV. Well, lady, I'll go camping in anything. So, and hats off to you. I see you. 69 degrees and mostly cloudy in Spokane. It's 66 in Coeur d'Alene. If you have been a little warm at night, you are going to be very happy with these overnight temperatures. Open up those windows, cool down the house, and sleep tight. The cool down will continue on Friday. Really starts in earnest on Friday. We slip below average. Possible showers tomorrow. It's going to be a cool and showery weekend. As I mentioned earlier, not steady rains, but hit and miss showers in some areas, particularly along the Canadian border. Will get hit with more. The 80s and the sunshine return next week, but hopefully we'll get some measurable rain out of the deal first. With the nature of this system, and I'm going to show it to you in just a moment, there is a chance of showers throughout the entire day, but it is not an especially good chance of showers, but we can't rule it out with the instability that is moving in. Our high temperature will hit it early in the day, 68 degrees. First day of below average temperatures this month. Winds will also be picking up early in the day, 20-mile-per-hour gusts as early as 9, 10 o'clock. Wind gusts peaking in the afternoon at about 25 miles per hour, and it will stay breezy off and on throughout the weekend. Not the near 40-mile-per-hour gusts that we experienced yesterday. Here's what's going on. We've got the clouds streaming in on a southwesterly flow, and the long-awaited weekend guest is getting closer. We've been tracking it all week. This area of low pressure that is going to be moving in Friday, bringing a few hit-and-miss showers, and then more rain on the way for Saturday, like spokes on a bicycle wheel. Disturbances will rotate around this area of low pressure. That's what makes it difficult to time the precipitation. Timing the cooler weather, however, is a snap. It is going to be 68 tomorrow. Summer starts in the 7 o'clock hour tomorrow evening. A chance of showers off and on Saturday and Sunday with temperatures running below average. We're back up to average on Monday. And if we get enough sunshine, enough instability, we may see a few thunderstorms, and then high pressure returns for temperatures back in the mid-80s starting on Wednesday, and we'll see those overnight lows back in the 50s. But in the meantime, some cool nights ahead for some comfy nights of sleep, Jordan. It's been hot at the Crocker house, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it's going to be nice to open up those windows, get some cool air finally in the house. Well, some students in our nation's capital are trading classrooms for gardens, learning math, science, and life skills while growing fresh produce.
CNN's Michael Yoshida shows us how one DC school is cultivating growth inside and out.
What are some of your favorite things to eat?
Yeah, we want the bigger, fuller leaves. That can hold a lot of that Caesar dressing.
Something exciting is blooming at this DC elementary school.
The learning happens in all types of environments.
Students of all ages are receiving invaluable lessons in a farm-to-table education program called Fresh Farm Foodprints.
So you're going to think about your food story and yourself and your relationship to food.
Whether it's out in the dirt in the garden or up in the classroom doing the cooking, following a recipe, it just really gives students that whole picture of learning.
Class starts outside in the school's garden, where kids are getting hands-on experience planting seeds and growing produce.
The garden is where students get the opportunity to experience subjects like math and science in a real, tangible way. It's where they get to learn about and gain an appreciation for the natural world.
I saw carrots, beets, apples, watermelon. We really get half our food from the garden.
I like the ABC salad, apples, beets, carrots, and that was really good.
When ready to harvest, these fresh ingredients are taken to a classroom to be prepped for nutritious, delicious meals. At Amadon Bowen, Foodprints runs 2 two-hour sessions per day, each in the morning and afternoon. Derek Boley is the lead teacher and culinary coach at the school. He says for the students, it's not just about farming, but gaining critical skills.
We're not just doing food, we're also tied to their curriculum. So they come in here and they get to work on their literacy skills. They get to work on their math skills while doing something that's not typical classroom learning. If you want to have a garden, you got to figure out how you're going to plant that, how many seeds you need, how much space you need.
Foodprints partners with over 20 elementary schools across D.C. The program is grounded in tackling local hunger and food access while promoting a healthy lifestyle at home.
And my whole passion in life is to feed people. And I get to come to work and feed people every day, but also I know that I'm teaching them how to feed themselves. I'm literally giving them a skill that will help them feed themselves for the rest of their lives.
In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
Such a cool opportunity for those kids. Well, hey, if you're looking for some last-minute plans this weekend, the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office is hosting a free community partnership barbecue right outside the Silver Lake Mall this Saturday.
This fun and educational event will feature canine and CPR demos, free food, a vendor fair, and the chance to learn more about the Kootenai County Fire Rescue teams. All the fun starts at 10 o'clock. We'll be right back after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
We owe everything to our troops, past and present, for their honor, courage, and dedication. As a token of our appreciation, 4 News Now and Global Credit Union encourage you once again to wear red on Fridays.
Join us in recognizing our troops and their families for allowing us the freedom we enjoy every day as Americans. Stop into any Global branch to pick up a red pin and show your support.
And then wear red every Friday from now until September 11.
Wear Red Fridays, brought to you by 4 News Now and Global Credit Union.
If your windows, entry door, or patio doors haven't been checked in years, they could be costing you, especially as the weather warms up. Schedule a complimentary consultation from Renewal by Andersen. It's a simple and informative visit that gives you real insight. We'll take a look at your current windows and doors, assess the glass and frame condition, and check for drafts. We can also use a heat lamp test to identify exactly where energy might be escaping. You'll get thoughtful recommendations from our experts based on your needs, goals, and budget. And with our virtual design tool, you can even preview new styles right in your space. Improve your home's comfort, boost efficiency, and refresh your curb appeal. It starts with a simple and free visit from Renewal by Andersen. Right now, we're offering amazing financing options for every budget. Schedule a complimentary consultation with us today.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Or get 0% APR on select Sierra 1500 models.
ShopDaveSmith.com.
AARP Spokane and BECU invite you to take steps towards a sharper mind and a stronger community. Join them for a free monthly Saturday morning walk series at Franklin Park, designed for older adults, where every step supports your health. Led by local AARP volunteers, the walks will be a fun and welcoming way to stay active, socially connected, and informed. Whether you're a casual stroller or a brisk walker, all activity levels are welcome and no one gets left behind. The first walk is June 28th from 9 to 11. Visit this website for details.
Coming up tonight on Nightside, Washington State Patrol is stepping up enforcement in Grant County this weekend. What drivers should expect tonight on Nightside?
Your planning forecast involves a cool and showery weekend, and then the sunshine returns. Summer officially starts tomorrow evening.
Look who else returns.
Just a reminder, Game 7 on Sunday. We would have a Chet Holmgren pillow. We need to maybe express ship that, so we have both the Zags.
That would be fair to represent. Man.
Etsy probably is where we need to be looking. This was a gift.
Yeah.